Hey everybody, it is Sunday, October 22nd, and uh, what I'm going to talk about today, and hopefully this will go up on YouTube because they censor a lot of stuff if I hit keywords or whatever. But I'm going to talk about our spiritual amnesia. I mean, it's kind of the one of the biggest stories that we're not aware of, and why? Because we don't have memory of it. Um, Again, it's hard to wrap your head around. That's why I'm going to start talking about these strange concepts about reincarnation and things like that. And it's like, because most of us were just taught that this is the only life there is, and they make the best of it. And it's funny because nobody really kind of, I guess, sits and thinks about it unless you're a critical thinker, or you're a more deep person with more deep thoughts and stuff. But you go think to yourself, well, I mean, I remember I used to think this when I was a kid. Even it's like, okay, once you die, it's what is it? Just black? Is it just there's nothingness or something? Like I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like because when you're physically alive, you start realizing that you're alive, and you go, okay, this is a world and this is a reality. But you don't think of it as in stopping, which it doesn't. That's just it. Like we're participants that come in here, and we have experiences, and then we go on. So, it depends on how you're religiously, uh, how you grew up and what you were taught, whatever. Then you have this concept of, let's say, for instance, heaven. It's like, okay, when you die, you go to this hypothetical place that's just like, it's awesome. Like it's always sunny days, you know, cats and dogs are getting along, the sheeps and then the lions are lying together, you know, this sort of a paradise world. I mean, we don't know for sure if it exists unless you pass on. Um, but here's the reality is we are eternal beings having experiences, and you've heard this before. I'm having a human experience. I'm a spiritual body, but the spiritual amnesia part of it is a little bit unusual, because when we do, I call these I call these modules, because I've done these before. I've been into these reality domes, sort of, and these reality universes and things, and they're very physical, because that's how we've created them. I know this is out there, so I'm just gonna keep saying it until they shut me down. But the reality is, uh, we sometimes we choose to forget on purpose, and we also choose to dampen down our abilities, because we just want to have these physical sensations and these physical worlds, and just to understand what it feels like and things like that. Kind of like, stop and smell the roses instead of just looking at them from afar. You get to appreciate reality. But for the most part, these modules teach us uh, strange concepts like, morals, ethics, things like that. It's like, you know, we're put into situations, and we kind of watch ourselves to see what would you do in those situations. Would you rise to the occasion? Would you save somebody from a burning house, or whatever? It's like that. But the spiritual amnesia part is, which makes this it's kind of sad, because what we're starting to wake up to, especially on the smaller version, is we're being played, and that's on the physical realm, but we are also being played on the spiritual realm, as in, um, normally when we leave our physical bodies, our spirits will go back to, well, basically outside of these physical realms, and then we can decide to go someplace else, whatever. So, in reality, our spirits are probably billions and billions of years old. But once the Earth in particular is a problem, and that's why there's beings that have come to help free planet Earth. It has become a prison planet because there's entities out there that realize that if we can, it's like a firefly, capturing that power, putting it in a little glass jar. It's like you could use that energy somehow. So they've kind of done that with our spirits. But they also realize the only way to do that is to wipe out our memory. So we have spiritual amnesia to the extreme, as in we keep getting looped into this reality over and over again. Well, that system's shut down now as of, I think it was like 2012 or 2013. So people are free to leave, but I don't want to go on to that story necessarily. But I want to talk about our spiritual amnesia. Our memories are completely wiped out, completely to the extreme, so that every time we come back in here, we think that we're a brand new being all over again. And sure enough, I mean, some children will remember, and some people, depending on if you get electric shock or something, your brain will somehow make connections to a past life or things like that. But I'm just saying, for the most part, our memories are completely wiped out. So we come in here, and we just think this is it. And then, I think we have curiosity, and so we, especially if you're on a spiritual journey, you start looking to, well, there's more to life than just this physical world. So then you'll try to find out, and there's lots of religions to choose from, different religions that talk about how our spirits are eternal, or there's something beyond this world. But the reality is, like I said, it's our memories, and we're talking spiritual on a spiritual level. We're getting our brains and our spirits memories wiped. So this is a really, really bad situation that beings here, and I call them humans because most beings on this planet are humanoid, but that's just a car that you're driving. So like, this is I'm driving a Caucasian male model body, so while I'm down here. Anyway, so ultimately, the thing that we're trying to accomplish, and talking about beings that are come here to help, as well as the beings that are waking up on planet Earth, and that's why it's called the Great Awakening, is we're awakening to not just we're being played on the physical world, because of course, yes, it's manifesting itself that way, but also we're being played spiritually too. So we have to wake up from that. We have to, it's about waking people up. It starts with the physical level, and then it goes beyond that. And it's like, okay, once you get even off this planet, it's like, hello, wake up. You are an eternal being, and you've been around for billions, if not trillions of years. And who knows how long ago you got captured onto prison planet Earth, and you got looped over and over and over again, and you kind of forgot why you even probably came in this neighborhood as far as this universe is concerned. So there's some people that are talking about it, but a lot of this is not really being talked about that much. We're always trying to find out the mysteries on planet Earth, as in, like, there's what's going on with the Sphinx and the pyramid and stuff. When you start digging in deep, you start realizing they were part of older civilizations that were still part of this mind capturing, spiritual capturing control system. So it's like, even if you try to figure them out, it's not going to lead to spiritual enlightenment, because almost everything on planet Earth is based around capturing us capturing our minds and capturing our spirits, and then using our energies to create this world and also to create other worlds. We are creator beings because we're all connected to source. We're all a piece of the eternal energy. You know, the reason why I don't use the word God is because that's way too limiting. We give the word God to the beings that have been controlling us. They're acting like gods, and like when you start figuring that out, you start realizing whenever there's a connection or there's a you know a trick, or not necessarily a trick, but I'm just saying if there's conditions to these gods saying, okay, you've got to behave in order to be a part of him or whatever. Whenever there's a hitch or yeah, then you know that it's not really part of source. That's the catch. It's like you better behave in order to go to heaven or whatever. I mean, just using that as an example, but a lot of them are kind of like that. They're based on that, and they don't tell you that as soon as you go off, you don't go to this happy fun planet or world that's heaven. What ends up happening in the past anyway, not anymore, is you would get reincarnated back onto planet Earth again as a new physical inside of a new physical being. So anyway, this is what we're caught up in, and what I'm trying to do is to slowly help people wake up to this, that we're breaking free from not just this physical. It's not about this physical world, you guys. It's a way bigger story than that. We are spiritual beings that have been kidnapped, and this planet is hijacked. So this is a really big problem that we're finally getting free from. It's playing out in a lot of different ways and right now, and there's a lot of stories I can go into, but I'm just going to touch on this for now, just to make sure you start entertaining these thoughts, okay? Okay, that's the best way for me to try to help out, because unless you've had amnesia, it's hard to explain that feeling of kind of waking up. It's like, geez, I have memories of something, or I must have forgot something, or whatever. That's kind of what we're going to be going through into the future now, is we're waking up. If you leave this planet, you probably end up waking up quicker because, like I say, you're not going to be recycled back down here in this physical reality. But even while we're down here, we're going to be waking up. So anyway, yeah, I don't want to go off on too much on this, but anyway, just that's the concept, is we have spiritual amnesia, and we're waking up to not just the physical world being messed with, but we have been kidnapped, we've been captured. So just entertain that thought, I guess. That's all I'm getting at. Okay, so that's my little update for October, and yeah, as this thing plays out, I know there's lots of other people out there with more information than me, but as this plays out, you'll see we're going to be getting more and more free. There's lots going on behind the scenes as usual, and it'll start being exposed and disclosed soon enough. So okay, that's all I got. Stay positive. Like I said, that really does help. Okay, that's all I got for today. So I'll talk to you in a couple weeks or something. Okay, bye.